Hello people, here's we got 2014 Volvo S60, and my daughter complaint was that the climate control fan stopped working, and it's of course it's make life miserable in any climate, but especially here in Seattle, Washington in January. That's not good. And I didn't see any or not any but other videos describing what to do with this, and on the forums it says very little about this kind of problem. And I heard or I read horrible stories about fan replacement itself, that it's a nightmare. So I decided to investigate the problem and what I've come up with. I made it a follow-up video kind of because first time I tried to do it, it was miserable weather, and I didn't feel good myself. And anyway, so complaint was climate control. Fan did not work, and it's visually seems like it's working. I can crank it up manually. Well, looks like I crank it up manually, or put in like a max window blower, and it's look like it's all the way up, but nothing happens. It telling me that nothing wrong with the controls, and you know, with all this electronics here, so that was good. And but the fan did not work at all. So I again, I read in the forums and stuff, and I came up with the most reasonable and possible fix for this problem. But first you have to check few things before you approaching this repair. Repair is it's a blower fan resistor replacement, which is can go for, like any electronics, it can work probably lifetime, or can go for no reason at all, because it's you know, electronics. The fan or impeller is easily accessible here, just to check, but you have to check first if it's seized, maybe motor seized. And if motor seized, this repair does not make any sense. I can from my experience, to go inside just for replacement this resistor, that's I would say use screwed if motor is seized. So what you have to do to check it, remove few clips, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll lift it up, this cover, and show you where this fan impeller is. Like you can see that, and those clips is very easy to remove. So you just lift it up, this center part, probably you know that by now, but anyway, and then just gently pull it out, and then you kind of just lift it up, this cover, so you'll be able to see kind of inside of there, and you will see impeller right there. Let me get it closer maybe. And you can just use a small screwdriver or whatever, and just kind of give it a little crank and see if it's spinning any no blockage, or it's very smooth, and should be very smooth and easy to turn this impeller, then it's probably will be something else. So we gotta move on with diagnostic. Put the stuff back in, but make sure it's going back right under the sleeve here, and we'll move on. I actually should probably say before, some people intentions would be, oh, maybe it's a blown fuse for a motor, so it's just simply stop working or something. Well, fuse itself, it's a pretty well, not pretty big, but a large amperage fuse. It's a 40 amp fuse for a blower fan, and it's located kind of like I would say not very easy access. It's located underneath this fuse block top. You have to release 1, 2, 3, I think, 3 right there, 3 pins, kind of like release. It's even probably I was using the 2 screwdrivers, and the third kind of like a pry it out. It's a third, evenly lift it up, try to lift it up, and kind of move it away. It's not very easy, and again, it's a 40 amp fuse, which is considered by Volvo as a breaker even. I should say 40 amp fuse, not blown for no reason, and it's probably not the case if you find out that this motor impeller moving freely. So I'm not gonna do that, just to show you how to, you'll figure it out. It's not that hard, but again, not that easy to pull it out, and we're not gonna do it for no reason. So first things first, to work on any electronics on a car, I strongly advise you to disconnect the battery, of course. That's a positive terminal accessible here. I'm not gonna be worried about ground or negative. Usually I like to do negative instead of positive, but well, this time it's easy accessible, and that might don't make much difference. I just remove this 10mm nut and move it kind of like out and away before you attempt to do this job. So that's actually part that is I replaced. Like I said, I made a video when I actually work on it, and but it was not very good quality and stuff. So that's actually original part that was installed there. It's kind of big. When you first see it, it's kind of like a big, wow, how you gonna how you gonna remove it and fit it in such a tight place. And it is kind of like a pain in the butt, but well, it's doable. I did it, you're gonna do it too. So what I bought is it's an OEM replacement. It's exactly same thing. Well, first of all, you probably better remove this cover plate, plastic cover plate. It's very easy to do. You just kind of like probably start right in the middle, slide a hand underneath, and kind of like pop it up. It's on the 3 or 4 little tabs. One back, and moving away. Be gentle with this. It's, well, actually it's more like 5 or 6 taps. Anyway, so it's open to you a little bit more view. Then you'll have to remove gas pedal. That's a three nuts, 10mm nuts, 1, 2, and third one in a top. It's very easy to remove. And then I would advise you to lose this bracket, which is gas pedal mounted on. And then, of course, you have to remove this connector here. Try to be gentle with this. After removing these 3 nuts, kind of slide this pedal gas pedal assembly away, and then push this little tab right there, and very nice and easy, push it out and away. Okay, next step, while this pedal is out of the way, I'll try to show you location of this resistor, which is slightly different from official description. In official Volvo Vida recommendation, or alright, so I didn't even point this stuff correctly first time. So here we have it. You have to remove this connector over there, squeeze 2 taps, and then turn this. It's kind of like a handy bracket, or whatever you can call it, on the top of this resistor. So we can try to twist it counterclockwise and remove this stuff. It's a little bit up in a, I say, up dash panel, a little bit on this heater assembly line. So I'll try to do it now. Back and twist it out, and then where's all fun begins. So you will have to turn it over there in the place, move it out, well, you be able to move it out of the place, and kind of like a back way through here, this area, turn it around and around and pull it out. So, and see, this deal is quite a big for such a small space. So what I did, I just kind of like, if it's staying just like so, you have to first disconnect this connector here, then twist it counterclockwise, just probably, I don't know, 5 degrees or so, because it's this little tabs here which is holding in place. And this main tab, it's need to go right back in the place, so it will you'll be able to lock it back in when you install new part. And it's very important, so it won't wobble over there, and you know, because if it's not tight, it will be just I don't know, disaster. But what I did is just twist it a little bit, pull it out as much as I can, and then start. I think I moved kind of like, you know, this way, turn it around over there, and then first this back side went first, and kind of like kind of struggle through this by this bracket and stuff, pull it out. So, and then I realized that I have to install it. So I try to maneuver it, you know, exactly opposite way. when I installed it, and well, I was successful. But so after you install it back in place, let's say it was kind of like I think it's this kind of position. It's a one tap. You probably you will see it when it goes all the way in. You won't be able to install any other direction, or any other position. But it's very important to find the original position when you remove it. And then I hold this piece from behind, kind of like, it's a screwdriver, long thin screwdriver. Push it in, and I use a channel lock, which was just to twist it, kind of like, just to barely twist it and lock it back in place. That's the only way to install it and put it back. I'll put a gas pedal back in and see if it's works. Starting the car just to make sure everything, yeah, I can already hear that fan is spinning, and as you can see, I adjusted it, and so it looks like everything works. Max defrost work, and other motors work fine. So here we have it. I was successful on that one. Well, it's not fun. It was, and when I replaced this resistor and everything started working, that's big relief for me. And just to make life easier maybe for some of you, I'll post this video, so maybe it will be helpful to some of you. Thank you for watching.